So when you're in mortuary school, uh, you learn a lot of stuff that you don't use, but you learn some stuff you do use. And since I was in San Francisco, they had kind of an old uh, coroner's office in a morgue down by the wharfs. It was kind of dark. It was in a basement. And I got a job there during my lunch hour. We had a 20-minute break and then a 1 hour lunch period. And so I went and worked and covered their lunch period down at the coroner's office. Anyway, so I was the only one there, and one day a guy called up and said, I wanted to come and identify my brother-in-law. Can I come down and identify my brother-in-law? I said, normally next of kin would do that. It would be your brother, your sister, whoever, and they would come, or a close relative. He says, well, he was decapitated, and my wife does not want to see him like that, and the police need someone to make sure that it's him and come identify him, and we're very well acquainted. They said I could do it. I said, okay, come on down then. And says, okay, I'll be down in a little while. I'm on my lunch hour, so I'm going to come down during lunch. I said, that's fine, I'm here. So he came down, and I looked up what drawer. They had rows and spaces on the drawers that you pull out to see the bodies. And he was on the bottom row, clear over in the corner. So I opened that drawer up and slid the tray out. And it was so dark over there, the guy was going like that, trying to look. I said, well, is it him? He says, it's too dark. There's no way I can see him back in that corner. I said, well, I'm here alone. I can't lift the body out and put it on a gurney and roll it under the light. And he says, well, we got to do something. I got to get some light over there. And I said, well, I'm just here on the lunch hours. I'm kind of a part-time guy. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let me hold his head up to the light. Does that go okay? Yeah. I said, I was in the Army. I saw bodies in Vietnam and everything. I said, okay. So I put on a pair of rubber gloves, went over, carefully picked the head up, and held it up by the light. And so he could see it. The light was on just right. And he looked at it, shook his head, yes, no. I said, my arms are getting kind of tired holding this head up. Is this him or not? He says, it looked just like him, but he wasn't that tall.